Breaking news in the Rock feed, we have a brand new statement just in from Slipknot revealing they have parted ways with their longtime sampler, Craig Jones, a member of the band who joined the group back in 1996 as a replacement for a guitarist, but a short time later, he would go on to become the sampler in the band where he has remained for many, many years throughout the band's entire career and all of their success. Now, it's unclear what led to this departure, but we know that today the band is just getting to Europe. They have a show today as well. And the band will also be without Clown performing with the band, though he is at home tending to a different matter, caring for his wife as she deals with a health-related issue. And we'll have a different video about that later today. But this is brand new breaking news that we are learning. Slipknot has parted ways with Craig Jones. Now, Craig Jones is by far sometimes referred to as the quiet one because he is pretty much silent and has been silent his entire career. You don't see him giving interviews or doing press. Very little is known about him. He shies away from the spotlight, but he has been a vital member of Slipknot for many, many years, up on stage, a fixture with the band, and he has parted ways. So this is the statement. Very brief, no information available on what occurred and led to this departure after a long tenure in the band. And this statement reads as follows: "To our fans, Slipknot is announcing that we have parted ways with Craig Jones. We wish Jones all the best for the future." Now, Slipknot previously have parted ways with members, but it was a situation that more so played out a little bit in public, whether it was the band's longtime percussionist, Chris Fain, who left the band in the midst of a legal battle, and he recently spoke out in an interview for the first time where he felt as though the best experience for him was dealing with the fans. We have no information about what led to this. And, you know, again, it's important to note that there is always things that happen behind the scenes. And I'm sure if you're a Slipknot fan, as I am, you're going to look at this situation and it's probably quite frustrating to see a member leaving the band, but I am going to withhold judgment and understand that when you have a band that has 9 members in it, that it is extremely complicated and it is something that personalities and people might not get along. I don't even want to begin to speculate about what this is about, to be honest with you, because I literally just found this out at the same time you're finding this out. And I just want to be respectful to everybody involved because these are complicated things that happen. And I don't think anybody wants membership changes to happen. And, you know, I would encourage you all, it's easy when we learn these things to have strong reactions and immediately, whether it's sad, anger, anything like that, sit back and allow this to unfold and see, you know, maybe we learn more, maybe we don't learn more. There are certainly a lot of implications and questions that can arise from this, whether it may be, will Slipknot replace his role in the band? Are they going to continue to be a 9-member band? Is this sampler not going to be in the band anymore and they're just going to move on from that and handle that in some other way? I don't know. There's just so little information available at this point. And really, you know, the reality is I talk about a lot of this stuff on the channel, but, you know, at the end of the day, we may never know what happened, and that's okay too. At the end of the day, it's also a business. And again, I just can't reiterate enough from following this stuff for years. I do know enough to know that sometimes internally shit happens where it's just complicated. And when you got 9 people traveling around the world together, and to have those members intact, or a lot of those members going back to 1996, you don't know. And I mean, you could even say maybe he just doesn't want to tour anymore. I don't know. And, but you know, the bottom line is he had a great career with Slipknot. He accomplished so much. It was a wonderful career. He was a great performer. The fans have loved him. You know, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you all think. I am just, these are my honest thoughts. And I'm very surprised by this, as I'm sure you are. I know we all love Slipknot and care about Slipknot deeply. And so I'm curious kind of what you all think in the comments. Now, what's interesting is there's this interview yesterday from Clown, where Clown is opening up about, this is with Kerrang, to their credit. It's a great interview they did. And Clown, in this interview that came out yesterday, which I imagine was conducted several weeks ago, he talks about how Slipknot is more so of an entity, and the members of Slipknot, or he personally feels as though people are going to come see Slipknot in its form, regardless of who is wearing, regardless of who's behind the mask. I don't necessarily agree. I do think that there are certain members of the band where I think really tough to move forward without a guy like Corey Taylor. I think that he is an essential part of the band. I think that, but I view all the members as essential, and I view even some of the new guys have added to that identity as well. Like you look at Mike Paff, Tortilla Man, whatever you want to call him, and he brings a certain energy to the stage. And I also want to say this again: if you're a fan that's sitting out there right now and you're disappointed by this, number one, you have a right to be. I'm sure you're a fan, but I would also say, don't be too discouraged, because it's fair to say Slipknot has a pretty good track record of bringing on really good new members. You look at Jay Weinberg, an elite level musician. You look at V-Man, you look at Mike Paff. So, it is discouraging. It can be frustrating, sure, but nothing is permanent, unfortunately. So, but this is what Clown said in this Kerrang interview. He is talking about Slipknot, whether or not that entity of Slipknot, the brand of Slipknot, the band itself is bigger than one individual member. He says, I'll leave that up to you. This is to Kerrang, and I've linked to it in the description. But this is the question. Would the people of Download demand to see Slipknot still if I wasn't in the band? I, Clown, am not in the band anymore. Do the people demand it? Tell me the truth. Don't think about it. The interviewer says that people come for the entity that is Slipknot, not because of who is behind each mask. Clown says, I want to thank you very much for saying that, because in my life that I've dedicated to the wonderful thought process known as Slipknot that I've shared with so many wonderful people, I believe that it is an entity. And quite frankly, I used to be made fun of by my own band members for using that word. I'd be like, Slipknot is an entity, and if you don't know it, it's going to encompass your thoughts, your feelings, your goosebumps, your blood. I too believe that if Clown was not on stage after these 26 shows, that Slipknot would go on. Now, I am going to be there. I'm just saying that when I walk out on stage every night, I'm going to go, wow, can I be here? I'm scared. But that's what Slipknot has been from day one. You'd better be scared too. I believe Slipknot is one of the best metal bands ever. And this is a bit of a bummer. And, again, I try not to focus too much on things that are out of everyone's control. He's not in the band anymore. So you just have to kind of look at it and go, it is what it is. And again, really, these are just my immediate thoughts. This is my immediate reaction to this. I know a lot of you are very stunned by this. I am stunned by this as well. Let's give these folks a little bit of grace. You've got 9 members in a band, 9 competing personalities, or whatever it is. I don't know anything about Craig. Other than the fact that he's been in this great band for many years and has done a great job, he is just not someone that I know anything about. And Slipknot, it's very surprising. I would say it's shocking to me. But this is how it goes down in the world of music sometimes. And I'm saying I'm getting reaction in the comments now. I'm reading the comments. They say this sucks for real. He's one of my favorites in Slipknot. I don't understand why. For a man known for not talking, I'm curious to know what exactly he did to make him leave or get fired. I need the full story. Please don't let him please don't let this be the downfall of Slipknot. I don't believe this is going to be the downfall of Slipknot. And if it was, that would be heartbreaking to me, because they're one of my favorite bands of all time, sincerely. So I'm looking at all of this, and people are saying, it is a rough departure. They don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. I don't know if we're going to know what happened, but we can talk about this. We can discuss this, but let's treat all these people like human beings, and let's, it's okay to be frustrated and like, what the hell happened? But, it's this kind of stuff happens, folks. It's a bummer. It's sad, but they got 9 members in this band, and they've been rolling since the mid 90s. And they've been traveling the world nonstop. So, let's talk about this in the comments, folks. These are my immediate thoughts. This is my immediate reaction to some very stunning news today about Slipknot parting ways with Craig Jones. If you're new here to Rockfeed and you would like to support the channel and you would like to follow continuing coverage about your favorite bands, just hit that subscribe button with notifications on for the latest news and updates. We're also going to be talking about this over on the Rockfeed Instagram, where I post much more in-depth information as well that I can't make videos about every day on those subjects. So thank you so much, and I will let you know if we learn more.